Hey everybody, I want to do something that I've never done before, a tier list. And the topic is tactics. I'm going to look at all the tactics in the game besides the ones you get to play with Barrel, and I'm going to give my thoughts on where I'd put them all, based on my own personal experience in the game. But these are just my opinions, and if you disagree with any of the choices I make, where I put something, feel free to leave a comment. There might be a use for one that I hadn't considered. Alright, so for criteria, S will be always useful no matter what. A will be most of the time useful, but there's a caveat. It's too expensive, or there's some other kind of negative. B is nichely useful, but that niche is easy to find or create. C is nichely useful, and that niche is difficult to find or create. D is never useful, and the conditions for it to be useful either don't exist or don't exist yet in the game. Alright, let's start off with Summon Explosive Barrel. Summons a mini explosive barrel on the target tile, dealing half the damage of a regular explosive barrel. Only one can exist at a time. Can be used up to 3 times per battle. It's not that expensive, but I don't see it being very useful as a barrel, an exploding barrel. The only use I see it being good for is battlefield control, because it is an object that the enemy will want to move around. So it can be used to divert people, block and exit, to control the movement of the battlefield. So I won't put it in D, but I will put it in C. Now let's move on to Divine Archer. Summons one rookie recruited archer onto the tile. Only one can exist at a time, can be used 3 times per battle. This one is very expensive. I feel like it can be used as the fodder in the weapon trials. That would be a pretty good use for it. But you're not using that first turn, or even second turn, which is when you'd really need it. And so for that reason, I'm putting it in C as well. The next one is Flag of Convalaria. Summons Flag of Convalaria on the target tile. Effect: all allies within 5 tiles around the character gain 10% attack and defense bonus. At the start of the turn, recovers 1 energy and reduces all skills cooldown by 1 turn. This seems great. It is outrageously expensive at 350, but it is, as long as you stay within the radius, it is amazing. But because of those caveats, it can't take the spot of S. Alright, let's check out Guardian Dummy Deployment. Summons a primary target dummy on the target tile. It cannot attack or move. Only 2 can exist at a time. Can be used up to 2 times per battle. Now this just seems like a better Divine Archer. It's much cheaper, and you might even be able to throw this down first turn. So it'll be really useful in the weapon trials to lure the boss to smite one of them. So because of that, I want to say C, but higher than this. High C. It'll be high C. Next up is Hymn of Life. All allies within 3 tiles recover 3,000 HP. Oh, and also, sometimes I might be reading the advanced version of these, and sometimes I might be reading the common version. It's just what I have. I won't be judging these based on the specific stats, because I know those will scale as the levels get higher. I'll just be judging them on general usefulness. Recovers 3,000 HP, effect halved in arena mode. Before the healing, dispels 1 debuff. It's an AoE heal and debuff. Just seems great. And it's medium priced. It's not bad. So that will be our first S. Alright, next one is Invincible Hero. Grants the target Invincible and Enhanced Strike Back 1, which cannot be dispelled or immunized, lasting until the start of the next turn. So, 1 turn God mode. especially for a counterattacker. Seems good, but isn't always going to be good. So, A. Next one up is Maneuver Command. Teleports the target to any location within 4 tiles around the character, restoring 25 HP. This one seems great for the tactical minded. It takes a lot of planning and calculation. You've got to know when to use it and who to use it on. So for that, it goes in A. Next up is March Command. This is the single most perfect creation on the planet, second probably only to peanut butter sandwiches. So as high on S as we can go. I thought about making another category above here that just says March Command. It really is that good. Right, next up, Pursuit Order. I didn't even read March Command. I assumed you all just knew. Okay, March Command. Grants March Command to all allies in battle. Effect increases movement by 2 tiles. Affected units can move again by 2 tiles after attacking, lasting 2 turns. Now, the first level of this has a little radius, but this level, Intermediate, it covers the entire battlefield. So if those levels where you're all spread across, there's one on each corner of the map, the March Command can hit you all. And so you move probably twice as much as you normally could, and then you can move again after you've attacked. It's amazing. Alright, now moving on to Pursuit Order. Grants the target, right here, grants the target Pursuit Order effect. The target can act again after attacking. Lasts 1 turn. This one's very niche, but it's good in its niche. So this one will be our first B. Next up is Ragnarok. Deals 500, scaling up with damage, with levels. Piercing damage to all enemies within 4 tiles around the target. Effect halved in arena mode. Piercing damage is great, and like I said, this one scales very well. The higher levels of this, I think it's like 5,000 damage to everyone in the blast radius. It's great. But it won't always be the right call to use. Sometimes you want to heal, sometimes there's only one unit and you can hit them. So it's not always going to be useful. So A. Alright, Raid Order here. Grants the target Raid Order for 2 turns. Effect, the target gains 100% bonus crit when attacking an enemy from the side or behind. Well, this is niche, but it's really good in its niche. When you just really need your unit to crit, then, yeah, you use Raid Order. So, B. Yeah. Niche, but good in its niche. Alright, Requiem. Inflicts sleep on all enemies within 1 tile around the target, lasting for 2 turns. Duration halved in arena mode. That's 1 turn in arena. I really don't even think that that's useful in arena. I wouldn't even bring this into arena. But it's really good crowd control for when you need crowd control, but it's not always going to be the right call. Either C, high C or low B. I'm going to, just for evenness, I'm going to put it in low B. Alright, Thunderstruck. Deals 500 piercing damage to the enemy. Effect halved in arena mode. This is an easy B. When you just need to finish someone off, it's useful. It's great. But it's not always going to be useful. Alright, next up is Urgent Order. Grants the target Urgent Order. Effect increases the target's speed by 200 and restoring energy, 1 energy lasting for 1 turn. Now, this is amazing, and it would be S. It should be S, but it's not a no-brainer. It requires some thought. You need to know the who, the how, the when, and that's why it's an A. The last one, Warhorn here. Inflicts Warhorn on all enemies within 2 tiles around the target. Effect increases their damage taken by 60%, and that's on the intermediate level. Inflicts focused target on the central target for 1 turn. This one is fantastic. I see nothing wrong with this. Easy S, and it's even better in boss battles. It's March Command, Hymn of Life, and Warhorn are our S's, and I see nothing wrong with that. They're fantastic. A couple of these could have been S, except for one caveat. So that's our tier list. There's nothing in D. None of these tactics are absolutely useful. From what I can remember, there was a couple that Barrel let us use that were almost useful, almost useless. But I'm not going into those. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you think. If you think I missed anything, got anything wrong, if I ranked one of your favorites really low, let me know. All right, have a nice day. Bye-bye.